Okay, now we will proceed to the teaching or classroom implications of the research findings, which I divided into two major parts. The first one is developing teaching competency as a shaping force, and the second one is school culture as a shaping force and a moderator. The changes make both the school and the teacher be involved in integrating technology in learning and teaching language. Now, in the first part, we have teachers' use of technology was shaped by their developing teaching competency in their first 2 years of teaching. First, their increasing teaching expertise over time shaped the frequency of their technology use. So, in the research findings, the five participants have gradually improved their technology usage from the first year of their teaching until their second year. From using technology to introduce videos, classroom management, online recordings and text, PowerPoint presentation, Google Docs in the in the first year, to giving applications for speaking skills, customized out of class learning resources, quizzes, interactive whiteboards, and so much more in their second year. The second one, they gained a better understanding of their students and improved their classroom management skills. They were more likely to invest in technology use in class. So, technology integration not only aided them in delivering language classes, but also helped them in improving their relationships with students. They learned more about people, including their likes, interests, and even the websites they frequently use. Next one is the teacher's pedagogical understanding of and skills in student-centered approaches influenced how they integrated technology into their classrooms. Now, technology also helped them to have a better strategy and method in teaching. They are able to integrate relatable and relevant applications and topics to what they are discussing in class. Collaboration and interactions were also enhanced by technological integration. For the second major point, school culture as a shaping force and a moderator, we have here. In alignment with the current literature, school culture was found to exert a strong influence on teacher technology use. The participants identified two aspects of school culture that directly influence the nature of their technology use: the tightly controlled curriculum and the school monitoring system. Now, the school support is essential for technological integration. By in this case, the school culture made an effort to achieve the goal of teaching with technology. The school's monitoring and control were observed and done to produce a more productive curriculum and teaching methods and process. No? So, this also gives teachers and students a sense of security and privacy when they venture into the online or technological world. The degree of autonomy that teachers were allowed in teaching content and pace in homework assignments influenced whether and how teachers adopted technologies for teaching. Now, teachers were also given the freedom to study far more complex websites and applications in order to expand their technological knowledge and utilize it in language classes. School culture was also found to moderate the influence of teachers developing competency and identity on their technology use. Although given autonomy and freedom to venture, the school nonetheless regulates these in order to keep up with the changes, the influence, and the competency of teachers and students also in the use of technology. Alright, for journal article number 2, the second research is about learning beliefs and autonomous language learning with technology beyond the classroom. This study is about how Hong Kong undergraduate foreign language students think about learning languages and how they use technology on their own. This exploratory study came up with the research findings that need to be looked into more. No? And lessons from the study suggest taking advantage of two-way interactions and set up a positive feedback loop to help people learn a new language. Another thing is that a contextualized and systematic strategy is needed To help foreign language learners learn a technology enhanced language outside the classroom, taking into account contextual and affective mediating elements. Now, this journal article has one research question, which is how do learner beliefs of language learning approaches and strategies interact with learners out of class autonomous technological behaviors? So, we have many researches and reviews on the effects and influence of technology in language learning or teaching inside the classroom. Now, I wonder, does using technology in language learning beyond the classroom be as beneficial? The study looked at how people think about how to learn a new language and how to use it in five ways: sequential or holistic approach, levels of ambiguity avoidance, primacy of accuracy, long term or short term orientations, and levels of risk taking in language use. For example, the degree of the preference of social learning. No? And then the study included undergraduates from a Hong Kong institution. And the language used is a semi-structured interviews were done with each person either in English or Chinese based on their preference. The duration of the interview lasted for about 45 minutes to an hour. And the results of the study is that the interview results are revealed a relationship between learner beliefs and outside the classroom use of technology for language learning. The relationship evolved through time and was influenced by the person's language learning and usage. Many factors influence the association, including the kid's ability to learn independently and their attitudes toward technology. So with the data I presented, we can see that the participants have different experiences and ways of using technology in language learning beyond their classrooms. Now, some say it is effective because it helps them in self-discipline, and some says that it affects attitude and focus both on the positive and the negative way. Now we will proceed to the teaching classroom applications of the research findings. So the first one is revealed a cyclic relationship between learner beliefs and learners' self-directed use of technology for language learning beyond the classroom. Now, interview responses show that how people think about learning affects not only what technology they use outside of school, but also how they interact with it. Learning about technology also led to new ideas. Now, self directed learning helps them to work through their own pace and with the help of songs, YouTube, Google, and other more websites, they are able to learn more. But as a future teacher might take here is that learners still need assistance in using technology in language learning to, of course, check legitimacy, the proper language use, the understanding of structure, and there's so much more. So the learning beliefs shaped not only the types of technological resources learners opted to use outside the language classrooms, but also how they interacted with these resources. At the same time, new beliefs also emerged from learners' technological experiences. Now, the use of technology outside classrooms helped them discover more, no, about the culture and beliefs of users of the language they are studying about. In addition, they learn about how to find and use resources we can find online and how to use and interact with them. But again, we need to be careful and cautious about the data we find on the internet because it can be full of false information. The appraisal and selective use of technological resources were influenced by the emphasis of accuracy. With the help and guidance of the teacher, students will be able to use technology outside the classroom in a more balanced way, which will help them learn, of course. Participant P used to believe in rote memorization of vocabulary when she was learning English and used digital flashcards to support vocabulary learning. However, she found that the technology assisted isolated vocabulary learning experience did not help much. Here, one participant shared the disadvantage of using technology beyond the classroom without proper knowledge of accuracy of data. Now, she thinks isolation occurs in digital flashcards. We know that English is a very complex knowledge. That is why guidance from a teacher is really needed in the learning and teaching process. Of course, with or without integrating technology.